So we haven't even started the show yet, and already we got 3 comments before we even start the doggone show. Well, you know what? Happy New Year from the Mizzle and Dub Show, episode number
Happy
148. But more important than that, it is our first Mizzle and Dub show of 2024. Yes, indeed. Happy New Year and salud, my friend. Welcome. He is the Black Goku, and I am Henry Ford's long lost grandson. Um, Nonetheless, we're gonna get into it. Football galore over this weekend. Just coming in with now. Normally, historically, since this format has come in with the college football playoff, most of the semifinal games have mainly been crappy. They've been crappy
yes,
games, and
yes,
most of them have been blowouts. We
yes,
had 2 very good semifinal
tremendous,
games
tremendous.
to settle who will play in Houston, Texas for the national championship. And it is 2 very familiar teams that have a history against each other that are going to play for the national championship. We will get into all that. But first, we're going to recap what we just saw this past weekend. As first, we're going to recap what we saw in the National Football League, which started with, unfortunately, a controversial decision on Saturday in Arlington, Texas, which they gifted the Cowboys a 20-19 win over the Detroit
Yeah,
Lions, 20 to
yeah,
19. Um, I It took away from, which was a very good game. It was back and forth. Um, could have gone either way. The Lions, this is who they are. They like going for stuff. They like to do trickeration.
they got
Because
it
that's
right
just what
though.
they do.
But
That's
they
who
got
Dan
it.
Campbell is. And yeah, a lot of times they do
They,
do it
they,
right.
they literally got cheated on NFL because the film and the footage showed. I know we're going to get into it, but you clearly saw that the offensive lineman was directly looking at the referee, and he was giving
Correct.
him the correct turn to let him know that he's eligible to catch that ball. That was horrible. That was horrible.
It was.
No,
It really was. But I mean, in hindsight, um, even after all that, Jared Goff made a bad throw because the receiver was open. If he leads him, he walks right
yes,
in, and Detroit
yes,
has the lead. However,
yes.
I know we've talked about Christian McCaffrey being an MVP candidate. We've talked about, of course, Tyreek Hill being an MVP candidate. But seriously, you might have to add Cedarian Lamb's name on that list as far as
Really,
being an MVP.
really,
Yeah, seriously. Like
really.
if you well, first off, the man went for 2 bills on Saturday. The man was seemingly catching everything. He just set the franchise record by another 88 by the name of Michael Irvin for most catches in Cowboys single season history. Um,
So are you putting him over Tyreek Hill?
no. I'm saying you might need to add his list as far as a candidate. I'm not saying he's winning the MVP. I'm just saying
Okay,
at I'm just saying his name needs to be nominated.
put him in discussion. Okay, okay,
Yeah,
I
put him.
understand.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the man has balled out. The man seemingly catches everything that is thrown his way, and he's not afraid of the moment. He's like, "Give me the ball in crunch time.
Yes, yes.
I will make a play." Just like again the previous 88 that wore that jersey, Michael Irvin, and you can put in Dez too because Dez did make some clutch catches in his career also. So
He was a
can't
decent
forget about
88.
Dez.
Yeah,
But I mean, it is called the 88 Club in Arlington, Texas for a reason. And
indeed.
of course, why would it not be controversial when Jimmy Johnson goes into the Cowboys Ring of Honor? Because, well, I mean, I, I mean, I, I mean, yeah, Jerry Jones is all giddy and happy now, but bro, you were so anal at Jimmy for a long time because you, Jerry Jones, was so anal that you did not get the credit that you thought you should have. I'm like, dude, you're just the owner and the GM. But It's the head. It's the head
Well,
coach
you
that coached the team.
understand he wanted to be Al Davis in the biggest way because we
You're
knew
not okay.
we knew Al Davis was the Raiders, and Jerry Jones wanted to be the Cowboys and the Cowboys. If that makes sense,
Okay.
but he's
But
not.
Jerry, for one thing, you never coached football.
Uh-oh.
Football was Al Davis's life. Okay, first off,
Right.
he got his coaching started at Syracuse University, number one. Then number
And
two,
he was on the Charger
Al's
staff. He was on the Charger staff. But don't forget about that.
number
He was part of the Steelers.
number number two, he learned under a legendary Hall of Famer head coach by the name of Sid Gilman.
Yes, indeed. Facts.
Okay, and if you don't know who Sid Gilman is, you might want to go look him up. Sid Gilman's in the Hall of
Just,
Fame.
just do it. Just do
So
it.
so Al got his tutelage and his doctorate and his degree in coaching from Sid Gilman.
Facts.
Then comes and turns around the Raiders and leads them to 10 wins in his first season in 1963. Oh, and by the way, he was also named Coach of the Year. What owner was named a Coach of the Year? It's okay. I will wait. I got time.
It's only Al Davis, man.
So, Jerry, you never coached the NFL. Okay. You were the one calling Al for advice
Indeed.
when you came into this league to own the Dallas Cowboys back in 1989.
Tell him.
And just the way
Tell
and just the way you dumped. Okay, many people will say Jerry Jones is the face of the Cowboys franchise. Not me personally. The fedora is the damn star
Landry.
in Arlington, Texas.
Landry.
Okay,
Straight up.
you build Jerry's world and all that, but I don't care who you are. The lifeline, the blood of the Cowboys franchise for me starts and ends with Thomas Landry. Period. Period. Him and Tex Schramm put the
Ooh.
Cowboys on the map.
You put text on him. See, you in the good mood. We starting off 2024. Right.
Well.
Got my brother dropping super knowledge right now.
Okay, you need to learn history. Okay,
And mind you,
learn
we don't like
history.
this team. Well, he doesn't like the team. I'm married into the team, so I can't say.
Yeah, that team is a number one when it comes to playoff heartbreak for my beloved 49ers. That team has broken my heart the most in my lifetime as an Niner fan. Them, the Packers, and the East Rutherford Giants are public enemy 1, 2, and 3 when it comes into the playoffs in the history
You,
of my team in my lifetime.
okay, so you're not going to throw the Seahawks in there?
Only one loss to them in the playoffs.
Oh well,
I,
there
I'm
it is. There it is. You're talking more
okay.
history. Understand?
Yeah,
Understand?
like I said, it's. I'm not talking about the catch two, Daryl. I'm talking about the teams that has given my team the most heartbreak of losses in the playoffs. It's the Cowboys number one, the Giants number two, and the Packers
Heartbreak.
number three. Anyhow,
Well, Mr. Cleo
nonetheless,
Fitzgerald, the Seahawks.
well, he doesn't like sea chickens, and I understand why. But to me, I
Thanksgiving
still
was a reason why that all Niners fans did not like the Seahawks.
well then don't get embarrassed on your food on Thanksgiving at Turkey on a Logo at the 50 inside Great America. It's just that simple. But that's here nor there. The Seahawks are
Indeed.
still fighting to try to make the playoffs, while unfortunately the Rams made the playoffs. And
Wow.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm going to say this live, and I don't care. You can at me this and the third, but I said that the Cleveland Browns might be the one team you might not want to see in January in the AFC.
Mm-hmm. You
I
did,
feel that way about I feel that way about the Inglewood Rams in the NFC. Because
and you're not wrong.
if you have
You're
not
not
paid
wrong.
attention, the Rams have been playing some fantastic football. Matthew
Quietly,
Stafford looks like he is healthy, and the Inglewood Rams and Sean McVay is possibly the one team I don't want to see in January. And you can quote me on that on New Year's Day at 10:34 Pacific Standard Time. The Inglewood Rams in the NFC can go on a deep run. I'm just I know what my eyes see.
they're not
Okay.
wrong.
What was the one thing that the Rams lacked? Was a consistent running game. Well, hello, Kyron Williams. They found that consistent running game with that young man from Notre Dame.
Yep,
Which means Stafford does not have to throw the ball 40 to 50 times because he can give it to number 23 in the backfield, and he has been solid for the Rams this season. And plus,
indeed,
you still got number 99 in the freaking middle by the name of Aaron Donald. By the way, he's still pretty doggone good.
no doubt, no doubt,
So
no doubt.
I'm just saying. But nonetheless, CeeDee Lamb had 13 catches for 227 yards and a TD. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 6 catches, 90 yards and a TD. Dak threw for 345 and a touchdown, or 2 TDs and a pick. Jared Goff's 2 picks cost the Lions, but the Lions, at worst, is the number 3 seed. As the Cowboys are in the driver's seat, the Cowboys right now, basically, if they beat the Commanders, which they should, if they beat the Commanders on Sunday, the Cowboys will not only win the NFC East division, they will be the number 2 seed in the playoffs. Which, if you're a Cowboys fan, that's good because you have a perfect record at home.
Huge,
That's very, very huge. Um, I mean, you don't get the bye week like the 2 seed used to, but it is what it is. Um, Also to recap, week 17 in the NFL. Um, Now, yeah, they did. They really did. You're not wrong. You're not wrong on that, Mr. Jones. You're not wrong on that at all. However, I will say this. Um,
they got
and
hosed
I'm
for
not
sure.
trying to throw shade. I'm not trying to throw shade on the Baltimore Ravens because they absolutely earned the number 1 seed in the AFC.
They
Truth
did.
be told, they mollywhopped the Dolphins 56-19.
Swap is the perfect word to say, brother. Good use of
Or
words. Yeah,
as most people. Yeah, it was a mollywhopping. It was no. Okay, people know me. I am a historian. I
yes,
like history.
yes.
Because it makes you talk about a whole bunch of stuff.
And
And
Daryl,
however,
that is
I
I disagree with what you just said. You've said a lot of stuff on this show, and this is the one of the things that I do disagree with you. He is the MVP of that team because if that man was to get hurt right now, they don't go nowhere. He is all of Baltimore. I agree. I'm sorry, brother. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I wanted to respond to the comment that
no
was made
no
that
no
I agree
no
on.
no you're fine. You're fine. But this is where I have to throw this in here. Okay, 2 times. And I'm trying to find. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. 2 times in their history, and the Ravens have
Yes.
been a franchise since 1996. 2 times
Mm-hmm.
the Baltimore Ravens have been the number 1 seed. Third, 2006 when they won 13-3, and I think that was Steve McNair's first season in Baltimore, if I'm not mistaken.
You could be correct. I wouldn't deny it. I wouldn't doubt you.
And hello, I'm looking for stats here. Give me stats, that gummit. Yes, That was Steve McNair's first year,
I,
2006. They went 13-3, had home field. They were one and done, lost to the eventual champions, the Colts, in 2006. They were the number one seed, I believe, in the year Lamar Jackson won MVP, which was 2019. They went
yes.
14-2.
Ooh.
Again, one and done, lost to the Titans. I say this for this reason. When
You don't want
Baltimore has ever when Baltimore has ever won the Super Bowl, which they've done on two occasions, or they've made deep playoff runs, they have always thrived better doing it on the road and doing it as an underdog. Now again,
100%. 100%.
now now until the Ravens can show that you can do it at home as a top seed, I'm not saying I'm skeptical. I'm just saying because history has shown that Baltimore has not done particularly well being the number one seed. They seem to thrive better being that underdog going on the road because, as you know, defense of the run game travels on the road,
Yep.
and that's basically been the Ravens' format under John Harbaugh. So again, not taking away from what the Ravens accomplished because going to M&T Bank Stadium is not the easiest place to win a football game. But I will say, the Cleveland Browns have done it. The Browns are one of the few teams that have gone into Baltimore and have won, and they did it in comeback fashion, which is why I said the Browns might be the one team in the AFC I might not want to see.
Oh.
And how appropriate would it be if
Ooh.
Joe Flacco gets a shot at his former team? I'm not saying, but I'm just saying.
The story would be
Just
nice.
yeah.
I wouldn't deny that. That would be that's pretty it's pretty nice.
Okay. Okay. Now again, let me reiterate. Going into the big crab cake in Baltimore is not an easy place to win.
No.
Now since the we'll talk about it when we start making our picks. Anyhow, Ravens beat the Dolphins 56-19. Like I said, and unfortunately for the Dolphins, Bradley Chubb, their starting defensive lineman, out for the season. Looks like he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
the Dolphins have lost Phillips, and now you've lost Bradley Chubb. That is two key players missing for the Dolphins in their defense, and it won't get easy for them Sunday. We'll talk about that when we do our picks. Um, but but Lamar was efficient as could be. 18 of 21 for 321, not one, not two, not three, not four. Man threw for five touchdowns. Five. One, two, three, four, five. Five.
Fifth. Fifth. I played the fifth.
He threw the fifth. Flowers had three catches for a buck 06 and a touchdown. Edwards ran the ball for 68 yards in the TD, and Baltimore 13-3 on the year. Officially are the number one seed in the AFC playoffs, and they are sitting a mile high as they wait to see how the playoffs unfold. Patriots lose a tough one to the Bills, 26-21. Um, and the Bills still with a shot to claim the
Yeah.
division. We'll talk about that later. Allen did not throw the ball all that well, but Kincaid had a nice solid game, 4 catches, 86 yards. As the Patriots just continue to suffer, and a lot of us love it because again, who was Bill Belichick without TB12? Well, you're seeing it. So
That's a
that's all I got to
different
say. I certainly did not have him do this, but raise your hand if you have the Chicago Bears winning 7 games, because I dang sure did not. And if you have not paid attention, the Chicago Bears have played very well down the stretch, and it seems like the Chicago Bears faithful want their quarterback to stay because they were chanting all across Soldier Field, "We want Fields." You know what? It was a very good weekend for the Bears because not only
Yes.
did they get their 7th win of the season, um, Marvin Harrison Jr. might be coming to Chicago if Fields stay because the
Oh,
Bears,
you calling it
with
that?
their win
Are you calling it that?
and the Panthers losing, it makes too much sense. Why not have the former teammates hook back up from Ohio State? You put Marvin Harrison with DJ Moore, with Komet in the backfield, and the and I mean I'm sorry,
Hey, wait,
Herbert in the
wait.
backfield.
Hold on, Doug. Wait, and you know
He's not
what?
wrong. He's not
Hey, wait,
wrong.
hey, wait, and guess what? Guess who just left? Guess who just left the house?
No, no, Mr. Hall. Oh boy.
He just left the house, and we were talking about the Bears. And yes, he is happy about what just happened and what's going on in Chicago right now. And that's crazy that you say that, Debo. He just left the house before we went on live, and we were just talking about the Bears.
So as
Hey, as do I.
as we all
As
do, yes sir.
Yes, sir.
No, well, okay. Side note, story time. So,
Uh-oh.
uh, now, now, of course, Sam's
Graduation.
facial. No, no, no,
Graduation.
not that. No, no, not that one. When Brian was when Brian was explaining when his son was talking about possibly going to the other side,
Oh.
and when yeah, that story, and just
Oh.
Sam's facial expression when Brian said what he said, and Debo knows what I'm talking about too. Um, just the look on his face. Now, Debo has the video, Brian has the video. I've sent you the video, but just the look on Sam's face, like, did he really just say that? And it's quite. See, Debo knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, yes. But as I was saying, if you're the Bears, you keep Fields. You got
Yes.
Herbert who ran. You got Herbert who ran for a $1.24. You'll have somebody to compliment DJ Moore, which, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
DJ Moore has put together a very. DJ Moore has the quietest 1,300 yards I've ever heard about. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
DJ, DJ Moore has
I don't
over
got.
13. DJ Moore has over 1,300 yards receiving, which is
Wow.
quite shocking to me,
Yeah.
and has 8 touchdowns. I'm like,
Mm.
what? Huh? What?
Okay.
But anyhow, you get Marvin Harrison to compliment DJ Moore, and then you spend your other draft picks putting together offensive line or trying to get the prize O lineman in free agency. The Bears could be vastly improved in 2024. And
Yeah.
plus, not only that, and we'll talk about their matchup. But yeah, I mean, it was a double win for the Bears as they beat the Falcons 37-17. Jaguars get back on the winning track. They needed to come to Jesus game. They got it. As CJ Beathard gets the start and got the win, and actually was decent. Beathard was 17-24 for a $178. Was a game manager. Travis Etienne, 16 carries, a $102, found the end zone twice. Ingram 6 catches for 60 yards as the Jaguars get their 9th win of the season. Galen, what is up with you and Flamingo? Like, explain that to me, please. You and Flamingo. What? Explain that. Explain that, El Menchon. Explain that to me, sir, please. Anyways, shout out to tall bastard number 3. We know a lot of tall bastards. My God. Anyhow,
Yes.
Jaguars in the driver's seat. They still control their fate as far as winning the AFC South. Basically, if they take care of business next week, um, oh, JC the Conqueror. As a Cowboys fan, I can honestly say the NFL hates the Raiders as much as the Cowboys. Well, that could be up for debate because the NFL has screwed the Raiders out of a lot of stuff over the years, mainly
Oh,
because of the
just like
fact that
this
Al
Sunday.
Davis told
Just like
Pete
this
Rose to
Sunday. just like this bad. My bad. My bad. Didn't mean to. Go ahead, Doug. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Now we'll get to the offside that wasn't offsides in a minute. But thank you for your comment,
Oh,
JC the Conqueror.
the no PI on Devontae Adams, but they called PI on a ball that was not fucking catchable. Even if he caught the fucking. Never mind. Never mind. I'm just gonna sip my mimosa. I'm sorry.
You will
I'm sorry, ladies.
you will get you will get Mizzle's passion in a few minutes because this has been a very passionate first show of 2024 so far, as you can see. Hence why he's got the black Goku shirt on because he might be going to Super 7 level. He might be going to Super Saiyan level 50 by the time this show's over. However, um, Texans get back on the winning track. Welcome back, CJ Stroud. Um, well, he's not wrong on that. Um, okay, well, if you want to talk about Micah Parsons not getting a holding call, you
Max
can say the
Crosby.
same for
Max Crosby. Hello. Hello. Have you seen
him
a
also.
player by 98 called Max Crosby? I mean, my man
I
be
can throw
getting.
in I mean, I can say the same thing about Nicholas John Bosa because he gets held all the doggone time. I'm like I said, holding can literally be called on every single doggone play, and it's just not.
I honestly want to know who dubbed him America's team. Who did that?
Okay,
There's 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 one thing I want
here
to know who dubbed him America's team, and I'm sick and tired of other fan bases thinking they're a nation. Your team is not a nation. Please stop that shit.
okay,
Never
okay.
ever, never ever put your team and nation at the end of it. You're not. There's only one fucking nation, and it's Raider Nation. Stop that shit. Please do.
No Debo. Cowboys fans do not give Cowboys fans do not give him the name. Here's the story of how the Cowboys got the moniker. Here's the here's the story. Here's the story on how the Cowboys build the America's Team moniker. Originally, NFL Films, and we're talking the late great Ed. We're talking about the late great Ed and Steve Sable,
Yes,
both
disabled.
Hall of Famers in their own rights. They originally came to the Chief, which is the late great Mr. Art Rooney, the Steelers owner,
Okay.
and
Yes, indeed.
basically the Sables came up to them and say they wanted to call the Steelers America's team. The Chief
No,
Art Rooney said, "We're the Pittsburgh Steelers." So basically, Tex Schramm, who I'm now mentioning for a second time on the show, Tex
yes, you are.
Schramm heard about that, and Tex Schramm, the Cowboys' original GM, took it and ran with the name. So understand, the Cowboys have been called America's team long before Jerry Jones got there, long
Indeed.
before Jimmy Johnson got there. They had the moniker under Tex Schramm and the fedora Tom Landry. And not to mention, I mean, as people not as people despise the Cowboys, and they have their reasons for despising the Cowboys, but
I like, I like this
we can
JC the Conqueror.
we
I
can
like
do
this
a
guy.
we can do a
I,
whole show. We can do a whole show on that.
I like this guy.
No,
Mhm.
Galen Joe Buck did not give the Cowboys America's team. Okay, again, like I said,
Don't get him started on Joe
Tex
Buck.
Schramm.
Yes.
Okay, fuck Joe Buck. I respect his career. I love his father Jack, but damn it, fuck Joe Buck. Okay, he's only tolerable because Troy Aikman is actually good at his job, so he makes Joe Buck tolerable.
It's not a,
Anyhow, anyhow, um, it was Tex Schramm that took that moniker and gave the Cowboys America's team because Art Rooney of the Pittsburgh Steelers could care less about being called America's team. So that's how the Cowboys ended up with the nickname. Trust me, if all of California had the money to bring the Raiders back to Oakland, they would do that.
You
Daryl
goddamn right.
Sombrano, don't you ever say that. Daryl Sombrano, don't you ever in your life say that ever again. There's no comparison to me and that man. Don't you ever in your life say that ever again. No. Ain't no similarities. Because number one, I don't use hair plugs like he does. And when he used hair plugs, he damn near lost his voice for a whole season. No, this is what needs to happen. No. Okay. The NFL did not want the Raiders back in Los Angeles, which is why
Because they
they
would
cock
have killed the
blocked them
market.
from coming
They would have killed the market.
because
They would
because they would have
destroy. The Rams would not have a stadium. There would be
no
no fans in Inglewood right now. It will be
no
no. If you look at Mark Davis's face when they announced that it was going to be the Chargers and the Rams, it was literally like, look here, we're giving it to them, and you're getting Vegas by yourself. Mark wasn't happy, but now Mark's happy now because Vegas is all his with the Aces
yeah.
and the Raiders. But if the Raiders would have been back in LA, the the Rams would have had no chance. It would have been nobody in that stadium. No, nobody. I mean, there's nobody there now, but it really would have been nobody if the Raiders were there. 100%. 110%. That's
Okay,
why the
first
Raiders are.
and first off and first off and now here we go this buffering shit. If the Raiders didn't go back to LA, then obviously they should have did something
So
in
Oakland,
Oakland. Okay.
no,
And
no.
and the Chargers need to go back to San Diego. But Dean Spanos is okay. Can you be
It's
more of an idiot than what Dean Spanos is? Because Dean Spanos could have could have had his stadium in Carson. JC, here's the thing: Raider Nation travels no matter where they're at, and that's just been
100%.
that way for years. They
100%.
it does. They could be all the way down. They could be all the way. As my brother has said many times, they can be in Baghdad, and I guarantee you, Raider Nation would show the fuck up in Baghdad. It does not
Put them on
matter
the
where
fucking
they
moon.
go.
You can put
Raider,
you can put the Raiders on the moon, and guess what? Damn it! If I got to take a
the nation will
goddamn
show
space,
up.
if I got to see a space shuttle to go see my team, guess what? I'm in there like this. I'm going to go see my damn team. That's it's not
Okay,
it's not
here's
the city. It is the organization that I am a fan of. I am a Raider fan. Whatever city they go to, well, Niner fans should understand that. You guys still follow them to Santa Clara, but they still claim San Francisco, but you still go to Santa Clara. So whatever. It's I don't give a damn what the name of it. As long as they got Raiders in front of it, you see it. It says Raiders. It don't say Vegas. It don't say LA. It don't say Oakland. It just says Raiders. And that's where my loyalty is.
most.
You as my little
Yes,
cousin,
yes.
Raider fucking nation. The only nation. Don't ever disrespect my organization by putting nation in front of your team. There is no Pittsburgh nation. There is nothing else.
1,000% yes. Yes, yes. Screw everything about them being 50 miles south from your home base. Screw everything about them building your stadium in the middle of a parking lot in an amusement park.
And with your passion, I have to answer this question, Dub. I have to answer this question. The banner behind me is because my lovely significant other is a Cowboy fan, and my stepson is a Cowboy fan. So that's why it stands House Divided. That's what it is. But now my children are Raider fans.
And also,
My children, no, no, no. My like I said,
okay.
that's my stepson. I love him as my own, but he does not know. He doesn't know. But we are a house divided, and yeah, I have to be a slightly a Cowboy fan.
But yeah, but back to my but okay. And Debo, I love you, and thank you for not making that comment. Otherwise, I would have been highly upset, and you really would have saw some passion.
Make the comment. We need
Anyhow,
passion.
no, we don't. No, no, no. Okay, it's that damn song and that damn singer, and I don't need to say anything else.
Bang bang.
No, 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 no. Those damn gifts that you and Debo like to do, being assholes when y'all want to upset me with those
Oh,
dang gifts.
hello.
Talking about,
Is it
yeah,
me
that
that you?
crap. Yes. He almost wanted to make that comment live on this show. But thank you, Debo, for not doing that. I love you, sir. And congratulations to you and the missus for getting that house. Can't wait to have the first barbecue there. Congratulations to you and the missus. Well earned, well deserved. Again, congratulations for doing that. Anyhow, as we're trying to get back to recapping the NFL, Texans get back on the winning track. They beat the Titans 26-3. CJ Stroud returns in a big way. Throws for 213. Devin Singletary runs for 80 yards. Nico Collins runs for or catches for 80 yards. As the boy, I'll tell you what, the AFC South, um, it is a log jam in there because you got three teams at 9-7 in the Texans, Colts, and the Jaguars. But right now, it's the Jaguars holding the slim lead by their division record, going 4-1. Even
Chin
though the
chin.
Colts have the most wins as far as conference, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of scenarios in the AFC South going through, and we'll obviously touch on that. Anyhow, going down the line, the I can't stand y'all right now because y'all are really trying to get some passion out. Don't say that name. Screw him too. Y'all just really want to see a light skin go mad, don't y'all? Screw that name. Screw Sean Waltman. I look nothing like that man. Sean Waltman looks like straight up drugs, even though he's gotten his act together, and good for him. Don't you don't you ever in your life call me that name ever again? No, Daryl. That's the last time. Daryl, that is the last time you will mention that name on this show. That's what you will not do. Okay, my man's can't even sip his mimosa because y'all are making him laugh so doggone hard. Good grief!
Keep bringing it. This is what this show is about.
He's gonna need his wife to give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation because he might pass out from all this damn laughter. As you can see, he is losing his mind right now.
I love it. I love
Anyhow,
it.
the Rams beat the Giants in.
Oh, hey,
Okay, Daryl,
no,
you just
you will never mention his name on this show ever again either. Yeah, that.
y'all funny. Y'all funny tonight.
And we will never mention Grant Napier on the Mizzle and Dub show again. Boring. I can't do it. Can't do it.
The Rams, the Rams go to 9-7. They beat the Giants by a final score of 26-25. Kyron Williams again ran fantastically, 87 yards, 3 touchdowns. Stafford throws for 317. Nakua 5 catches for $118. And again, I've been saying this. Man, if Tyrod Taylor did not have a career of getting hurt, who knows what career he could have had. Man played fantastic Sunday night. Threw for 319. Okay, now Del Rogers, I respect that name. Actually got the chance to meet Del Rogers and actually talk to him for a few minutes. Back at UOP Stadium when he was working. I still think he works for KSRA Channel 3 News. He's one of the sports anchors, but he was covering the high school game between Fairfield High and Elk Grove back when Fairfield High got to the championship game at UOP when they played the CIF championship game at UOP, which is in Stockton.
But they just put hella makeup on that dude.
Which,
I
yes,
mean, it's
the
put a
University of
ton of
Pacific,
makeup on
Hugh
that guy.
Jackson, actually played quarterback at UOP. So, and also, that was also where the Niners had their training camp in many years before they moved to Santa Clara. Their training camp was in the University. Okay, I'm giving y'all too much history. Okay, stop it. Anyhow, 26-25. With that win,
No.
the Rams officially clinched their spot in the playoffs. So the Rams, if the season ended today, they'll play the. Now, how is this for some poetry? Rams make the playoffs, and if things stay the same, the Rams and Matthew Stafford would go back to Detroit in the playoffs. How
Wow.
about that for some drama?
How about that? Yeah, that would be nice.
And to you fans of the Red Sea, of the Bird Gang, we the 49er faithful will be sending you a thank you card in the mail to Tempe, Arizona, as the Arizona Cardinals down 21-6 find a way to come back and beat the Eagles, and the Eagles are in trouble. And
Leaking.
now, and now
Leak.
Philadelphia being Philadelphia, all of a sudden, they now want Nick Sirianni's head,
Wow.
which y'all were 2-1. Y'all were 2-1.
They're leaking.
They're leaking some serious oil right now. No, we don't have T-shirts. No, we don't. We'll
What
work
is
on
that
that.
t-shirts? This you didn't already spark an idea.
Well, you know what? He's not wrong. He is
An
not wrong. He
idea
is not wrong.
just been sparked. Thank you, Daryl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, seeing him live this past Friday was freaking awesome as hell. Yes, it was.
Did he say yeah? Did he say
Oh,
it?
yes he did. He also said, "Let me talk to you."
Let me
Uh,
talk to you.
I, I,
Yeah.
I'll I'll send you the video when we go off the air.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm getting text messages. Now, okay, this is how much I can't stand right now. Okay, there's another person that just sent me a Lionel Richie gift. Can y'all stop it with the Lionel Richie? I do not look like that fucking man. I can't stand y'all tonight. I really can't. But of course, in Mizzle's case, this is just delighting his soul. He's about to fall out of his chair right now. He can't even talk. He can't even talk right now. Which, by the way, Maverick, I know Maverick's not watching, but Maverick, this is all your damn fault. I love you, but this is your damn fault. You started this crap.
wait, wait.
It's all your fault.
The cold part about it, I thought it was Debo that started this, and then I found out the
No, no,
story
no.
behind. I
Yeah.
understand. I understand. But
Maverick started, and Debo just won't let it die.
oh man, this is the gift that keeps on giving, ladies and gentlemen. You guys will never
No,
understand
it
this.
ain't. No, it ain't.
He's gonna
No, it ain't.
this. this This shit is going to his grave. Y'all don't understand this shit. He better wait. I'll say this. He better hope he outlives me. I'll just say that because if he doesn't outlive me, yes, I will be that Negro at his eulogy, and I will say, "Here's to my brother Lionel." You damn right.
You are an asshole.
Wait, but would it be any different?
Well,
I've been an asshole. I've
I
been
call
an
you
asshole to
I
you our whole
I call
existence of this
I call
brotherhood.
I call you the second greatest asshole in the world for a reason.
Yes. And I tell people when we talk, I say, I have a brother right now that calls me an asshole every day. I can send him
Yes.
a comment or a gift right now, and he will write back, "You asshole." Yes. That is that like my wife even knows. She'd be like, "Did you get Dub to call you an asshole today?" I'd be like, "No, but I can do it."
Factual statement. Like like if like for him, if I don't call him asshole at least one time a day, he's like, "What is wrong with you?" No, no. He will be like, "Are you okay? What's wrong with you?"
Whoa, nobody likes Jim Rome on this show. I don't think so. My dad doesn't like Jim Rome. I don't like Jim Rome. Dub, do you like Jim Rome?
Fuck no.
So yeah, nobody likes Jim Rome on this show. Next.
The greatest thing about Jim Rome is what Jim Everett did on his show. that's about that's about the only thing about Jim Rome
Oh,
I like is what Jim Everett.
oh.
Oh, really? I think I have an idea who this is.
well, it's. I believe this is your nephew's tag, but who's watching the tag? You should.
You know who it is. Yeah. It's our little big brother. We already know.
Wait, I'm
So
getting all kind of. I'm getting all kind of text messages for the T-shirt ideas for the Mizzle and Dove show, and one came through with Joe Buck for president. So I know who that's for.
I will burn that on the air. You will I will
This
not.
is the greatest show ever. This is a
I will
great show to break
I
in
will not.
2024.
I will absolutely not. Uh-uh. Ain't no way. I will be like I will be like Sergeant Slaughter burning the Hulkamania t-shirt on TV. I will burn. No. No, no, we ain't doing it. No, 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 no.
Uh,
Dat gummit, no. Anyhow, hold on. Trying this has become recap show slash comedy hour. Um,
well, this is what the Mizzle and Dove show is about, brother. This is what we do it for. We are
I know.
we are we are reaching. Our people are talking to us, and we're with them.
Denzelli, hold on a second. I'll get back to you in a second. Hold on, hold on, brother. Hold on.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, okay, all right.
yeah.
Desi, stand by, bro. Stand by. Yeah, like I said, you never know who might drop in on the show. So,
Well, we've been knowing this person since the ninth damn grade, so I have no problem with it. But yes, we will try to find a way to get shirts. If people want Mizzle and Dub shirts, we will find somebody that can make that happen for us. So if anybody agrees to that, just comment it in the comments, and we will find a way to get Mizzle and Dub shirts printed and get that out to you.
okay.
We do have resources for that.
Now, now trying to get back. Now trying to get back to this recap of the NFL, but we keep getting a sideswipe. So the Cardinals come back. They beat the Eagles 35-31.
When you
Eagles are
damn
leaking
right,
oil,
Bear Field
and
High
they are
to
hurting real, real bad.
Yay! I'm
Yes,
sorry,
indeed.
you said Fairfield High.
So, of course, Debo wants to go all out. Of course, he does.
Well. Just as much as you want the Mizzle and Dub show set, we want the Monroe show set. Yes, indeed. We need that show in production
On
ASAP.
Max. On
Yes,
Max. Yes.
yes. Well, see,
And y'all got your own and y'all just moved into your own house. So
yes.
y'all got your own place now. So it can happen. It can happen, dadgummit. Well, one thing about Debo, he is a hat. Like Debo could do a show on just all the hats that he has, because that man
Yes.
has a plethora of hats,
Ton of that. Yes.
and they're all fitted, and they're
NJ.
all fitted hats. And we love you for life. So, I'm gonna ask this question: does anybody want to win the NFC South? Anybody at all?
Not
Because
not
it
yet. It
seems
want to
like
come down to the last. It want to come down to the last week. Not yet.
they want to come down to musical chairs as the Saints, the good version of the Saints, shows up as they beat the Buccaneers 23-13 as Baker Mayfield was in a giving mood, throwing 2 interceptions, and the Saints took advantage. And now the Saints and the Buccaneers are tied at 8-8 in the NFC South. But the Buccaneers own the tiebreaker because the Buccaneers have the better conference record than the Saints. So basically, if the Buccaneers win, they win the South. If the Saints win, then they win the South, which of course it's going to come down to. And the one thing, and we already talked about this last week, but the one thing that you and I did both like and did both agree with is how they have basically made divisional games important and they're playing for it at the end of the season. That has been the most important thing. And yes, we'll get to Sean Payton in a minute because I do agree with you of how they're doing Russ. It's absolutely wrong.
Oh
And
yeah, yeah.
and Russ
I,
should and Russ should
I'll
get
say
some kind of
this.
compensation.
I'll say this. Thank you, Sean Payton and the John Elways, because the way the Raiders treated Derek Carr looks like we just gave him a nice little PlayStation 5 and a nice little gift card to go away. Because the way the Broncos are treating Russell Wilson is real shitty. You do not treat it, and he's an MVP. I mean, I don't know if he has won like a certain type of MVP, but he is somebody that should not be getting treated like the Broncos are treating him right now, and that's horrible.
Did Galen send you the picture?
The Joe Buck picture.
Yeah.
That's what I said. What I said about that, we also have merch that we can do with Joe Buck on it. Yeah, I got that. Yeah. Why would you think he would not send me that picture? Ladies and
Galen,
gentlemen, we
I love
also
you,
have a lot of family
but
that's watching this.
I can't stand you.
There's a lot of fan band
I
watching the
love you,
show
but
right
I love you, but I can't stand you.
now.
Dadgummit.
We will definitely get that on print ASAP, Brody. We can do that.
Like I said, I will burn that. Anyhow, um, um, Denzel, if you're still watching, check your inbox. The link's in your inbox. Um, now, where was I? Okay. Back to scores of week 17. Now, Steeler fans, I'm about to get on y'all. How dare you want
How
your
dare
head
you?
coach fired? How dare you? Because all the
How dare
man does is not lose. And the Pittsburgh
you?
Steelers went into the 12s and used that running game to beat the Seahawks. And once again, Mike Tomlin still has no losing seasons. And by the way, the Steelers still have a shot to make the playoffs and get their 10th win of the season.
Without a starting quarterback.
Have you not learned that the Pittsburgh have you not now yes, if I will criticize Mike Tomlin on one thing, it's the fact that he went to Mason Rudolph a little bit too late after Kenny Pickett got hurt. Now that I will agree with you on. However,
Yes.
the fact that the Steelers have had a crappy offense for most of the year and have still found a way to have a winning season and still have a chance to win 10 games and still have a chance to get in the playoffs is because of the coaching that is Mike Tomlin. Because I guarantee you now, there's a lot of people that would love to have Mike Tomlin as their head coach. I'm just saying. No, it wasn't a give me game. I mean, even if the Seahawks are not the same team, winning in that stadium, as you know, is not the easiest place to win a game. It's not.
It is not. It is not.
It's just it's just not. So anytime that you can go into the 12 and get a win, that's a big win. Given with the fact that their crowd noise can give you multiple false starts and set the offense back.
It's known to happen.
I mean, it's known to happen. So I mean, the Seahawks get the I tell you what, he doesn't want that. My co-host would not want that at all. Well, I'll tell you what, it would be a
If
bidding
my
war in the AFC West if that was to happen.
the Steelers decide to do the unthinkable, which they have never done in their whole existence, which is fire a coach. If they fire a coach, if they fire this coach who is all but done, is has tremendous seasons and finds a way to stay above 500 and make it to the playoffs, I want to retain AP as the Raiders head coach, but the Steelers want to make that move and let Mike Tomlin test whatever free reign, whatever. Like I said, I want AP. But just like how I feel about that locker room will run through a wall for AP, they will for sure run through a wall for Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is that good of a coach that he can go to any organization and get your organization to play good football. Again, like my brother just quoted, this is his 17th season without having a losing season. I'll take that any day right now. Any day. I'm sorry. That man has whatever he is spewing in that locker room, everybody believes in. And again, I say this, he is doing this without a solid starting quarterback or a solid offensive coordinator. So go ahead, Pittsburgh, whatever you guys want to call yourselves, because you're not a nation.
Whom they fired.
Who you want to fire, and who would you want to replace Mike Tomlin?
Did you read
Answer
what
me
your
that
uncle
question. What's that? What was that? That
did you read what your uncle typed?
on the
Well,
Facebook
going
comment?
back to the singer, your
That's what
uncle
I was
Riley said,
because he
yeah,
had
he said Lionel has hair.
yes, yes. We and I wanted to respond. Well, yes, we know that, but we knew Doug when he had hair, and yes, he still looked like Lionel Richie. Yes, we're not going to take away from that. I knew this man when he had hair. Yes, indeed, and I will back that comment.
And it was a lot of it.
And it was a lot of it. The fro may not have been combed out properly, but damn it, he had hair. Okay, hold on. Let me see. We got
but
some comments to
nevertheless,
respond about. Hold on. We got some comments to see. I hope the Steelers and the Heinz Fields family let him go. Wow. But why? Why? I don't understand. They don't fire coaches. They let their coaches retire. And what's all reported is they're already trying to work on a contract to retain him. So smart move if you ask me. And then we also have this one. No, I do not want Mike Tomlin in the division. It's scary. I'd rather him be the coach if he's going to be in the AFC West. And then we also still have Xbox comments coming in. We're the Xbox comments are not gonna stop coming. It seems like that's gonna be happening tonight. So you're just gonna have to go ahead and take on your Lionel Richie and Xbox comments tonight.
I'm going
So
to refrain from how I really feel.
as we continue to NFL recap, or are we moving on to the next segment? I am so in love with this show right
Daryl,
now.
stop saying Daryl, stop saying that doggone name. Enough. Enough with that name. Enough. Good grief. Dadgummit. Anyhow, shout out to our fans watching via Instagram Live or Facebook Live, and of course on our YouTube page. We appreciate all you guys, uh, minus the Lionel and X Pac and Joe Buck comments. Other than that, um, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us on the first show of 2024. Um, as we are in the thick of things, as unfortunately,
Yes,
as much as
yes,
we've been
yes, yes.
excited about the football season, it is coming towards the playoffs. But real quickly, Mizzle, the Bengals had a 10-point lead, but somehow the doggone Chiefs found a way to rally, and the Chiefs for the eighth consecutive year win the AFC West 25-17. Um, Broncos
They're
beat the Chargers 16-9, and the Packers beat the Vikings 33-10. So basically, the Packers in themselves have a driver's seat chance to get in the playoffs. So, with all that said, as we come into Week 18 of the NFL season, here's what we know so far. In the AFC, Ravens, Dolphins, Chiefs, Browns have all clinched a playoff spot. Basically, if Jacksonville wins, they win the AFC South. They'll be the 4th seed. Right now, the Bills and Dolphins have not decided the AFC East. That will be decided on Sunday. Right now, the Colts holding on to the last playoff spot by way of their conference record. So basically, if the Colts win, they're in. And if
yeah.
somehow the Jaguars lose and the Colts win, then it's the Colts that get. Boy, we got some great matchups. And it is starting on Saturday. We got 2 games on Saturday, then the rest on Sunday.
So do we
Which,
don't
by
have
the
a so Thursday night doesn't no more? Is this the week where Thursday night is no longer?
yeah, the Browns and the Jets were the last Thursday night game. So we got 2 games starting on Saturday, and then
The
everybody else on
Ravens
Sunday.
and Steelers. Woo!
Yes, yes,
The Ravens and Steelers, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be a barn burner.
yes. It is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And coming into the final regular season weekend, unless a miracle happens, Mizzle will be picking his tequila that he wants, and looks like tequila will win the first round of this. See, what you know what though? Me and Mizzle have had a pretty doggone good record in picking games this season, but
Yes, yes, yes,
he
yes.
is
It's the Monroes we are looking for. You guys need to just go ahead and get on this platform and start recording stuff live. And I guarantee you, you will get your HBO Max show before we'll get our studio. I promise. You guys are, yes, yes.
so coming into week 18, Mizzle has a record of 137 and 75, and I come in with a record of 131 and 82. But as he does is Randy Orton. So basically, he has a 7.5 game lead on me, and looks like he'll be getting a nice brand of tequila from yours truly. But anyhow, as mentioned, yes, week 18. Sad that the regular season is coming to an end, but it means the playoffs
Yes.
uh, are coming into fruition. And again, there's still a lot of spots to be determined, some divisions to be determined.
Hey, brother. Guess what?
What's that?
We we definitely might have to do a live show on January 21st because there's playoff
Oh, that's
football.
on a Sunday.
That's playoff football being played. I believe
Well,
to
if I
get to
don't,
the championship, if I'm not wrong, if I no, is that conference championship round?
no, I think that's divisional. I
Okay,
think
but
the
it's to get
title game
to
is on the.
get to
I,
conference. Hey, it doesn't
correct.
matter. It's an important football game that's being played on my birthday. We might have to something might have to be done. Just foreshadowing.
Well, we will definitely do a recap for sure. No, we'll do a recap for sure. But I might have A7 duties on that
Uh,
particular Sunday, so we'll just keep that in mind. Anyhow,
yeah,
to which, by the way, your boy will be back behind the mic this Sunday as A7 FL Fall Brawl kicks off again, coming down to the home stretch. Again, the playoffs in February and the championship is on February the 4th. And then we take the rest of the month off. And then the national season starts on March the 24th, which is the 10th anniversary season of the A7FL. So, again, for those that are living locally in Vegas, you can watch that on Fox 5.2. For everybody else, caffeine.tv and YouTube on the Ace NFL channel to hear yours truly, along with Chris and the Viking in the booth with me on Sundays. Um, when they mess up a call, absolutely they should have their own press conference. And be like, why'd you mess up that call? Absolutely, yeah. They should have to give an explanation of why they didn't see what they didn't see. Absolutely. Now that comment, Daryl, I will agree with upon. Yes. Anyhow, week 18, as previously mentioned, the Ravens and the Steelers kick it off on a Saturday afternoon at 1:30 Eastern, which, by the way, both Saturday games you can catch on ESPN and ABC. So it's a doubleheader on ESPN and ABC with the Steelers and Ravens and the Texans and the Colts. Those are your two Saturday matchups. I will say this: the Ravens have nothing to play for. They've already got the number one seed situated. Here comes the question: do you rest your players? Do you play them for a half? Do you play them for a series? The Steelers are playing for their lives because, like I said, they are looking up right now at
yeah,
the Texans, if I'm not mistaken, for that final playoff spot. So, I mean, it's a lot to look after, and considering the fact that the Texans do have the tiebreaker with the 30-6 win over the Steelers back in week 3 of the season, which is huge. Um, so with that said, um, the Steelers have already beaten the Ravens once, and
yes.
as we have said on this show many, many, many of times, you do not go against Mike Tomlin. It has been proven time and time again that a lot of times you will look like an idiot if you go against Mike Tomlin, and
100%.
I'm not going against Mike Tomlin. I mean, we know the Steelers and Ravens. It's one of the best rivalries in football, one of the best rivalries in the NFL. So I mean, like I said, Ravens have wrapped up with wrapped up. They want to go into the playoffs healthy. Um, but I'm going with Tomlin. I'm just not going to go against Tomlin. I'm picking the Pittsburgh Steelers.
So with that pick that you're making, you're banking on that the Ravens are resting their players for this game.
No, I'm just basing that on the fact that the Steelers are going to come out and play desperation football against the Ravens.
See, it's hard for me to pick this game because with the Ravens having the number one seed, I don't know if they're going to rest
Yeah,
their players.
did it?
Because I believe
Yeah,
if they were starting their players, I would pick the Ravens to win this game. This would be the one game that I would go against Mike Tomlin for this because of what the Ravens need. But I don't know if the Ravens are resting their players because they locked down the number one seed. So uh,
but I would
give me
just keep this in mind. The
go
Steelers are
ahead.
one of the three teams that have beaten the Ravens, and two of the Ravens' three losses has come against division opponents.
I think the Ravens are going to rest their players. So give me the Steelers on this one, only for the simple fact of the matter that I believe that the Ravens might rest their players because they showed up the number one spot throughout the playoffs.
And you're not and you're not wrong on that. Now, the Texans and Colts. Oh God, this
Now
one's a tough one.
that's that
Oh
that this is a tough
goodness,
one. This is the one that's kind of hard
this
because
is the
they're both playing for something.
yeah. Yes, and they both have and they both have an outside chance to possibly steal the division. Um,
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now as it stands, right now as it stands, um, the Texans are on the outside looking in because the Colts have the final playoff spot, which again, um, so right now here's where it stands. The Colts have the tiebreaker over Pittsburgh based on head to head. Division tiebreak was initially used to eliminate Houston because Indianapolis has the tiebreaker over Houston based on head to head winning percentage, which right now the Colts have the better conference record than the Texans. The Colts have a 7-4 conference record. The Texans have a 6-5 record. Now, obviously, that can change if the Texans beat the Colts, which earlier this season, back in week 2, the Colts beat the Texans 31-20. So with this game being at the Big Horseshoe at Lucas Oil, um, gives the Colts a big advantage. But CJ Stroud coming back at the right time, giving the Texans offense abuse, not a boost, not abuse. Um, boy, this game is so hard to pick. It really is. Like it's almost I want to use my mulligan for this game because I like both teams. I really do because the fact that Shane Steichen, who really should get some credit for, or who really should get nominated for being Coach of the Year along with D'Amico Ryans, because I mean, you thought once Anthony Richardson went down for the season, you thought the Colts season might be over,
That's it.
but yet
Yeah.
here comes here comes Garner Minshew holding down the fort, and now not only do the Colts have a winning season, basically if they win, they're in. Um, that type of scenario. Um, but of course, you and I have been high on D'Amico Ryans all year long. Um, basically, the rebuild started in the first year because we all thought this was going to be a rebuild, and now here are the Texans with the winning season. So even if the Texans lose, it's a winning season because if you win with the new schedule playing 17 games, 9 wins means you officially have a winning record. So,
Indeed.
man, th- this game
It,
is tough to
it,
pick.
it very much is because, like I said, there's a lot of line for this on a lot of line on for this game, and both teams have been playing some damn good football. I mean, given that my team got eliminated by the horseshoe, which was a damn good game. I believe if we brought a little more offense to that game, we should have won that game because the defense again showed up as I said they would. Uh, I'm gonna pick the Colts because I believe that they got some good motivation going on, and they will bring their running game. I think their running game will kind of help Gardner Minshew kind of calm down, and he can make that one deep pass as he made that one deep pass last week against my Raiders, which when it tends they make that one pass that kind of makes it good for them to go in the direction to win the game. So I believe that Minshew will make that one pass that will get them to win the game. So I'm gonna ride with the horseshoe on this one.
Well,
As
here's the
also I
line.
got to get $20 for this game because I betted a Colts fan at work, so he gets $20 out of me, and I hate losing. You know that losing and giving up money.
The Colts are -1, and the over/under is 47.5.
Ooh, I think Minshew just makes that one pass. He just makes that one throw that will help them win that game.
I think the combination of Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor might be the factor that puts the Colts over the hump. Um, and the fact that um, Minshew has been solid um, since he's taken over, and plus, um, I just like the run game of the Colts, so I'm going with the horseshoe. I just think Shane Steichen will get enough out of the offense, even though again, I love what the Texans have done. It's just can Devin Singletary carry the load by himself? I don't know, but I know that Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor can, and I'm going to go with the horseshoe. But I think it'll be a very very close game. I think it might go in overtime. That's how close I think this game is going to be. All right, so heading down to the final Sunday of the NFL season. Basically, as I said, if the Buccaneers win, they win the NFC South. They are on the road against the 2-14 Carolina Panthers. Um, Bucks are -5.5. I know the Panthers would love to play spoiler. I just don't see it. I have the Pewter winning the game and winning the division for a third consecutive year. I just don't see the Panthers pulling it off. I like Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm gonna take
Finally
Tampa Bay
wins.
as well. I'm gonna ride that with you. I'm also gonna take Tampa Bay. I believe they will. Yeah, the Panthers are just going through too much growing pains right now. They may be a better team next year, but I just don't see Baker losing to a rookie in the way the Panthers have been playing.
Well, not to mention their owner David Tipper. What are you doing? Throwing beer bottles or throwing drinks at the fans in Jacksonville when they were getting shut out. Um, the last couple of weeks, with the exception of the Saints game, Baker Mayfield had been playing very, very well. Um, Rashard White had been running the ball well, and of course, Mike Evans being Mike Evans. But I do think the Buccaneers will bounce back. Had a chance to solidify the division last week, but they took a tough one against the Saints, losing 23-13. But happy ever. I do think the Buccaneers will get back on the right track. Rashad White needs 85 yards to have a 1,000-yard season rushing the ball. Of course, Mike Evans is well over 1,000 yards. He's got 1,233. Um, Baker Mayfield should go over 4,000 yards passing for this season. As he's put together a nice season, Baker Mayfield, quiet as it's kept. Baker Mayfield has thrown the ball for 3,907 yards, and oddly enough, he has thrown 28 touchdowns to just 10 interceptions. So The touchdown to interception ratio has been very good for Baker Mayfield this season, and perhaps he might have found a home in Tampa with the solid season that he has had. So,
Yes,
I mean that's pretty doggone good for what he has accomplished. So, solid season for him. Um, like I said, Mike Evans continues to be Mike Evans. So I definitely think the Buccaneers will get the win over the Panthers and win the NFC South for a third consecutive division.
agree.
Always a great matchup when these two teams get together. It's the Battle of Ohio between the Browns and the Bengals. The Bengals playing for pride and trying to play for a winning season as they come to the game 8-8. The Browns already in the playoffs with an 11-5 record. Um, of course, for the Browns, they can. Well, Garcia had a couple of subpar years before he found resurrection with the Eagles, because he did struggle in Cleveland, and then came to the Eagles and basically was like the Rocky story, and then of course had two good solid years in Tampa before he called it a career. But that's a very good comparison in regards to Baker finding a home perhaps in Tampa, just like Garcia finally found a home
Yeah,
with Philadelphia and Tampa after he left the Niners. That's a very good analogy, Debo. Um,
agree.
the Browns, at no worse, can be either the 5 or the 6 seed. So basically, if the Browns were to lose, they only would really drop one spot. Um, only difference is, would you want to go play the Chiefs in Arrowhead, or you want to go play the Jaguars in Jacksonville? Which I think to the Browns, it really doesn't matter because, like I said, and I've been saying it, um, the Browns might be the one team you don't want to see in the AFC during the playoffs. Um, Flacco looks like he has that 2012 Flacco magic that led the Ravens to a Super Bowl. And like I said, the defense of the Browns travel. Zadarius Smith and Miles Garrett and Osukamawara, that's a problem. Um, Not to mention you have the run game with Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt if they decide to go that route. And not to mention you have Elijah Moore and Amari Cooper and the resurrection of David Njoku at tight end. I'm just saying I've been high on the Browns long before the season started, mainly because of their defense.
Well,
I
that's
was a
both of
believer in I was a
them.
believer in their defense, and plus, and oh by the way, Jim Swartz is their defensive coordinator. So that was one reason why I believed in the Browns defense. And then again, to have four different starting quarterbacks and then calling a 38-year-old guy off the couch and then to do what he's doing. I mean, you also have to throw Kevin Stefanski's name in there for as a candidate for coach of the year because he's doing this with four quarterbacks and one they signed literally off the couch not even 5 weeks ago. And I mean, it almost could have been it almost could have been in turmoil for the Browns, but the Browns have definitely turned it around. To which, even with that said, I'm still going to pick the Brownies just because I just like the Browns' momentum and where they're going. Um, I will give Cincinnati a lot of credit because it really looked like the season was going to go down the tubes once Joe Burrow got injured, but Jake Browning has filled the shoes up nicely,
Yeah, yeah,
which a lot to which a lot of times for a lot of years they said that the backup quarterback's the most popular guy on the team. Well, I mean Cincinnati benefited from having Jake Browning. He stayed ready. He played well. They almost beat the Chiefs. Um, but I will say this: Cincinnati will come back loaded next year. Even though Joe Mixon, they have to make a decision on him because he's at the end of his contract. Um, will he stay? Will he go? That remains to be seen. But I like the Browns to get win number 12 and ride their momentum into the playoffs.
yeah. I'm gonna follow you with that. I like the Browns as well. just like what Joe Flacco is doing. Seems like whatever Stefanski is putting with this team, they're buying in and they're locked in. And yeah, the Browns got something going that's real good right now. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Browns as well on this one.
All right, next up, really not much to play. Well, really not much to play for. Also, um, it's the Vikings and the Lions. The Vikings officially eliminated with their loss last week. The Lions um, either will be the 2 seed or the 3 seed. Um, like I said, the Lions have the division wrapped up. They're in the playoffs. Really nothing to play for. Um, I wonder if they will give Teddy Bridgewater one last send off since he is retiring at the end of the year and he is the backup
Oh
quarterback. Will he get some playing? Will he get some playing time? I don't know, but the Lions with a chance to tie their record for most wins in the season, which was 12 back in the 91 season. And I think the Lions will get that because I think the Lions want to go in the playoffs in good shape. And I think Dan Campbell will have them motivated to finish to get to 12 wins. So
yeah,
I'm picking One Pride to beat the Vikings on the final home game of the season.
yeah. I'm going with the Lions. Nothing too much to be said about this one. Lions.
Do we really have to pick this game? I guess we do. Um, the East Rutherford Jets in Foxborough again against the New England Patriots.
I think I'm gonna use. I think I'm gonna use my mulligan on this one, bro. I'm not gonna pick this game because it's just it's gonna be horrible, horrible, horrible. Now, if you want to go ahead
Well,
and
I'll
pick this
just say,
game, I will say this: I will try to see who you're gonna pick, and then I'll make my pick after your pick. You go ahead and pick it first. We'll do that one.
the Patriots only have 4 wins.
Okay.
One of those wins came against the Jets,
Okay.
and the final score was 15 to 10, and the final score was 15 to 10. That was some of the most horriblest offensive display of football I've ever seen.
And the Jets got a
How,
good defense, by the way.
how yes, yes. However, Trevor Simeon did throw the ball well against the Browns,
Oh boy.
and I love me, I love me some Brees Hall, but
Yes.
I just really want to see the Patriots in their misery, and I want to just see them have 4 wins on the year. So I'm picking gangrene pickets just because I don't want the Patriots to 5 wins. I want Belichick. Yes, I'm being petty.
Well, since you put it that way, and that's why I'm glad that you put this game first, so I can kind of go on what you were feeling with that, and just by your passionate statement with that, I can't ever want the Patriots to ever win shit ever in life. So yeah, I think I'm gonna ride with the Jets.
All right. NFC South battle. And normally, when these two teams get together, it's always a good game. At the Superdome, the Falcons and the Saints. Saints minus 3.5. Falcons coming in 7-9. Saints coming in at 8-8. Basically, if somehow the Panthers were to beat the Buccaneers and the Saints win, the Saints would win the NFC South. However, if the Saints do win, um, as we're going back to the standings again, trying to see where the Saints are at um, in the playoff picture. So in the NFC, here's what we know: 49ers, Cowboys, Lions, Rams, Eagles have all clinched spots. Which, of course, as we know, the Niners are the number one seed. Cowboys right now, they control their own destiny. They're the 2 seed. Lions coming in as the 3. Buccaneers locked into the 4th should they win on Sunday. Eagles 5, Rams 6. Right now, the Packers holding on to that last spot at 8-8. Um, and if I'm not mistaken, and yep, I was right. Basically, if the Saints were to win, the Saints would need the Packers to lose because the Packers have the head-to-head win over the Saints this year.
Yep.
And okay, so basically right now, Packers, Seahawks, Saints, all 8-8,
Okay.
trying for that last spot. So right now, the Packers, because they have the tiebreaker with wins, they got their win has the tiebreaker over the Seattle Seahawks based on strength of victory, and the tiebreaker over New Orleans because, like I said, the Packers already beat the Saints head-to-head when they played earlier this season in Lambeau Field. So, basically, Packers control their own destiny. They win. They're in. Then the only way the Saints could get in is if they win and the Buccaneers lose. And Happy New Year to you too, sir. Even though change the I or change the U to an I, and that's how you spell Mizzle. But nonetheless, thank you for chiming in, and Happy New Year to you too. So with that said, the Falcons
They
will love
probably
nothing
got
more than the.
this person probably has an iPhone, and the iPhone would automatically correct because that's that BS.
There, there, there you go.
I understand.
Nonetheless, the Falcons will love nothing more than to play spoiler against the Saints. And like I said, whenever these two get together, it never lacks for drama. But the Falcons did get the win their first meeting, 24-15. And again, my question is, which version of the Saints you're going to get? Because sometimes well, perfect example of the Jekyll and Hyde Saints was this year, which the Saints looked very well against Tampa Bay last week, and then they could lay an egg. But because the Saints are at home and they're getting -3.5, I'm going to go with the home team. I think the Saints should come out and play desperation football. And Atlanta, do me a favor. Can you please let Bijan run the damn football? Please? Please? Let the Longhorn run the football. He's not that far away from a 1,000-yard season. Well, we had as many as 11 watching this show, which we appreciate, which I think that was the most we had at a live setting at one point in time. So we
yeah.
So, but like I said, we appreciate everybody for watching. But I'm going to pick New Orleans just because I think they should be on a swivel, and I just think they're better than Atlanta.
I'm gonna take the alma mater in this one.
Oh, he's going Dirty Birds. Okay.
Yeah.
To which it would not surprise me if Atlanta did win this game because you and I have both. No, You and I have both been fans of Tyler Heineke. He has moxie. He has spunk. He just
Yeah,
doesn't quit. So I
yeah.
can see that happening. It wouldn't surprise me if the Saints laid an egg. It wouldn't surprise me if the Falcons pull off the upset. All right, as we are continuing with our Week 18 picks, um, Titans and Jags. Will Levis not
Oh,
playing. Um, I trust CJ Beathard to get one more win to give the Jaguars the division title for the second straight year. To have Sunshine come back healthy. I like the Jags on the road against the Titans.
yeah. I like the Jags as well. Good call on that one. A little more experienced quarterback. Yeah, I like the Jags.
Coming off a huge upset win, it is the Cardinals at home against the Seahawks. Will this be Kyler Murray's last game in an Arizona Cardinals uniform? That remains to be seen. The Seahawks try to have a winning season. They are 8-8. Um, Seahawks are -3. I hope
Are
this
you
game
pouring
ends in a
yourself?
tie.
Are you pouring yourself a drink? Are you pouring yourself a drink?
No, I know the Cardinals will play hard. I just don't know if they will have enough to beat Seattle. I'm picking the Seahawks. Um, I think Seattle will finish on a winning note, and good for them. Um, but there's just too much uncertainty with the Cardinals because, like I said, this could be Kyler Murray's last game as a Cardinal. Um, who knows what in the direction that Coach Gannon wants to go in, and plus, I mean, I just think the Seahawks are the better team, and they should win this game.
Well, again, it seems like there is a pattern going on in here where we're agreeing. This is why we can never be JP and K because we kind of get along too much to have some form of a disagreement. But I agree with your pick as well. I'm gonna pick the same team.
Well, it's not that. It's just okay. Now, obviously, when it comes to our respective teams that we cheer for, obviously
Yes,
we're going to cheer with our heart because we're fans. But basically, when we're doing these picks, we're basically going off our brains because we're just like, yeah, but they're the better team. Now, this
yeah.
particular game,
Oh,
I'm going to say right now, I'm going to say right now, I am picking the Chicago Bears. This is my upset pick of the week. I am picking the Bears to go into Lambeau and spoil the Packers' chances of going to the playoffs. I like the way the Bears have been playing, and damn it, I need one upset. My upset special is the Bears winning in Lambeau on Sunday.
so the
Sam Hall,
Packers need
that's
to
for you.
so the Packers need to win the game to get into the
Bas-
playoffs. Correct.
basically, if the Packers control their own destiny, if the Packers win, they're in point blank. Period. They get the last NFC playoff spot.
I'm going with the Cheeseheads. I'm going with the Cheeseheads. Let's go. I'm cutthroat around here. Yeah, I know. I just sat here and had a whole conversation with my cousin about the Bears and what they've been doing. But yeah, they're not winning this one because the Packers have more on the line than the Bears. The Bears have already locked in a number one overall pick in the draft. I mean, yeah, they're playing for pride right now, but the Packers have a lot more to play for. So yeah, definitely ride with the Packers.
And the reason why I'm picking the Bears is because the Bears would love nothing more than to spoil the Packers' new year and deny them a chance at the
Oh
playoffs.
yeah, well,
Which, again,
I would
you
have
go
no
back to last
disagreement.
year,
I wouldn't be upset with that with your
which
pick, and I wouldn't be shocked. But I just think the
mhm.
Packers are going to come with it because just a LaFleur and what he has been doing with this team, and he's always come out on top some way somehow.
um even though they have them at a -2, um, I'm not going to pick the Chargers because they will find a way to Charger. I do like the Taylor Swifts over the Chargers, even though the Taylor Swifts have nothing to play for. But I just don't trust the Inglewood Chargers because they always like to break your heart.
I'm going with the Swifties as well. There's no need to dial into this game any longer.
Now here's my second upset special.
Oh baby.
Just just because it's the second time in 3 weeks, and damn it, just steal the old pan gasket. But if he's starting the whole game, I am going with Tyrod Taylor and the East Rutherford Giants to really just add to fuel to the fire in beating the Eagles at home on Sunday because they almost beat the Rams. And like I said, if Tyrod Taylor did not get hurt for his whole career, who knows what he could have been. But he gave a spark when he came off the bench when they played 2 weeks ago on Christmas Day in Philly, and the Giants almost the Giants almost had a chance to tie the game. It came down to the last play of the game, but I am going with the East Rutherford Giants to really just add salt to the wounds of the Eagles. That's my second upset pick. So I'm picking the Giants.
You're picking the Giants because for some way that you kind of trying to catch up, right? And trying to make a miracle happen in 2024 after New Year's, right? That's I believe that's what you're trying to do. I'm
half
not.
of,
I don't.
half
Go
of
ahead.
half of it is that, half of it is that, but the other half, which is what I'm going off of, it's the second time the Giants have seen the Eagles in 3 weeks. And like I said, Tyrod Taylor came in and gave the Giants a spark, and it had to take the final play of the game for the Eagles to beat the Giants. It's almost now, I'm not really trying to compare, but it's almost like when the Giants saw the Patriots when the Patriots were going for that perfect season, even though the Giants lost. The Giants were like, if we see them again, we can beat them. And obviously, that's what happened in Super Bowl 42 when they played each other. So the Giants gained confidence from that loss. I think the Giants gained confidence from losing close to the Eagles, and I think they have a chance to beat them. I just really believe that.
And this is why you will be buying me tequila.
Because let me just say,
I'm
you
going
were
to
getting
either.
that anyway because there's no way I'm gonna there's no way I'm gonna catch up to you.
Well,
Like I could
making
go
that pick,
perfect all week long,
making the
and
pick
and,
that you're
and,
doing
and
is
I still wouldn't catch up to you.
making that pick that you're making is a perfect example. I'm picking Eagles. I think they're going to come in with a. They're going to try to fix whatever's going. This is their game to
They need
fix whatever
something.
it needs to fix. Yeah, they got to fix something. So I believe this is the game that's going to get them to get back on track. But I don't see none of the starters playing too long because they're probably going to come out on fire. They're probably going to play a good first half, maybe second quarter type of football. The coach is going to feel like, okay, you guys are get what I was trying to preach. You guys are on track. You sit it down, and they'll build enough lead to rest their starters. So yeah, I'm picking the Eagles on this one. Good luck trying to catch up.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. Um, Commanders at home against the Cowboys. Basically, the Cowboys control their own fate. Basically, they win. They win the NFC East and the number 2 seed. Um, I don't see the Commanders doing much, so I am picking. As much as this makes me want to throw up, I am picking the Arlington Cowboys. Because he loves his wife. Now, this one Should be a dandy for the NFC or not the NFC, for the AFC East division title. And kudos to the NFL for doing this right and putting it on Sunday Night Football. It is the Orchard Park Bills against the Miami Dolphins in Miami. Bills coming in with a 10-6 record. Dolphins coming in with 11-5 record. But unfortunately for the Dolphins, it comes at a price. They're all pro defensive linemen. Bradley Chubb out for the season, which likely is a torn ACL, um, which is unfortunate because obviously in a game like this, playing for a division title, you definitely want to try to have all your guys, but it's a torn ACL for Bradley Chubb. Right now, they're giving the Bills -3, and the over under is 49.5. And they're expecting the game time weather to be 69 degrees. So right now we know Jerome Baker, their linebacker, he's on IR. We know Xavier Howard is out. Bradley Chubb is out.
Ooh.
Jalen Waddle is questionable, and Tua is questionable. Um, DeMar Hamlin questionable for the Bills, and also Josh Allen questionable for the Bills. Um, but this is the second of two meetings, and they met back in week 4 of the season when the Dolphins were undefeated. They were both um, at 3-1 coming in the game, but it was the Bills that thrashed them 48-20. Um, I'm going with the Bills. I just think Baker not being there and Bradley Chubb not being there, I think that's really going to hurt Miami. And I think the Bills, despite the fact that the Bills have struggled, I still think the Bills will come away and win this division and steal it. I mean, Miami, I will say this for the Dolphins. That loss to the Titans on Monday night was a very, very bad loss. It was a bad loss because you had seemingly the chance to wrap up home field in your grasp. And you let Will Levis and the Titans come back. Um, you come off that game, you come up, you shut out the Jets, then you get the big one against the Cowboys, and then you lay the egg against the Ravens. But I think if there's one loss that the Dolphins will look back at that really hurt them, it's the loss to the Titans back on December the 11th, a game that they were up 13. They soundly had a lead, and they let the Titans come back. So, and with that said, losing to your losing two of your key defensive players in Baker and Bradley Chubb, I just don't know how the Dolphins overcome that, and that's why I'm riding with the Bills.
Yep. I like everything you said with that. There's not too much to be said with that. I am going to also ride the broken tables in this game and go with the Bills.
A lot of plunder being used in South Florida. Um, this is how they started the season, and they will end the season playing the same way. Um, hold on, if I can get this going here. All right. Um, it has not been good, and I will still keep it that way. Um, come on now. There we go. Do it right. Do your job. Let's see. That is one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Man.
7, 9, 9 out of the last 11 games, and for the last 7 straight, the Raiders have been, or yes, the Broncos have called the Raiders daddy for the last 7 straight games and the last 9 out of 11. I see that continuing. I don't give a damn if Jarrett Stidham is the starting quarterback. Um, the Raiders started the season with a win against the Broncos, and I believe the Raiders will end the season with the win against the Broncos. And hopefully, once that happens, Mark Davis will go into the locker room and announce to the team that he's taking the interim tag off,
He can't do that yet.
and he will get. Well, hopefully he should, but
Well,
I get it.
the only reason why he can't do that because he still has the interview. He has to go through the interview process first of interviewing a female and a minority, which AP will be the minority. So he has to go through that. But
But I will ask you this question in regards
yes,
to your beloved Silver and Black. Um,
yes.
what do they have to do offensively to stop avoiding the slow starts? Because that seemed to has been an issue lately with the offense.
I can't. I don't know how to answer that question. I really don't. It's because it seems like they do a lot of good things in the beginning and they go away from it and then they get stagnant. So I don't know. I really don't know. I just believe if AP is going to take this job over. He needs to. Excuse me. Got to get back to work tomorrow, so that's why the body's back into work mode. But
Oh, trust me, I get it.
I just believe they got to just find the offensive coordinator. I don't think what they have right now is the best thing for them. So I literally can't answer that question because some plays work and it's looking good. And it's like okay, if he stays with the style that he's going with, there might be a chance, and then they become stagnant. So I don't know.
But I just still think the Raiders will still make it 8 straight wins over the Broncos just because, I mean, the Broncos were
The
playing a
defense
crappy Charger team and they barely. I mean, the Chargers. I mean, the Broncos were playing a very crappy Charger team and they barely beat them 16-9. So I mean, come on now. I mean, the Broncos should have mopped the floor with the Chargers, but didn't. Um, okay, all right, that's a first. But nonetheless, I got the Raiders making it 8 straight against the Broncos. Just because the Raiders have just had their number in this rivalry, and that would give the Raiders their 73rd win against their longtime AFL rivals. Of course, last game, both teams have nothing to play for. But of course, it's my team playing a team that plays in Southern California. So, of course, I'm picking my team. Niners already have home field. Rams are in the playoffs. So that's that. Anyhow, um, before we end the show, of course, we're going to talk about what we just saw today, which was a whole lot of college football bowl games. Um, some very rather exciting ones, and then a one particular blowout. But before we recap what we saw tonight, very quickly, since our last show, there have been some bowl games that have happened, and we're just gonna run through it real quick because unfortunately reality sets in, and we both got to go back to work starting tomorrow. So, last we left you was okay. Here's what happened on Friday. So, we last left you with Arizona winning the Alamo Bowl 38-24 over Oklahoma. This past
Yep.
Friday, Clemson in a very great Gator Bowl game. Clemson came back to beat Kentucky 38-35. Notre Dame, where Notre Dame's head coach got doused in frosted flakes. Notre Dame wins the Sun Bowl 40-8 over Oregon State. Um, Basically, Memphis, as the road team playing in their home stadium, wins the Liberty Bowl 36-26 over Iowa State. And kudos to the Missouri Tigers winning the Cotton Bowl, holding a very good Ohio State team to just 3 points as Missouri scores 2 touchdowns late in the fourth quarter to beat the Ohio State University 14-3 as Missouri finishes the year with an 11-2 record, the same record as Ohio State. Then Saturday, we all know what this was. We all know for a fact. I'm not even claiming this victory as a Georgia fan because we know for a fact that the real Florida State team was not out there. So, yes, in the record books, it will go down as a 63-3 Georgia win. But me as a Georgia fan, I'm not even going to claim that victory because, like I said, the real Florida State Seminoles did not play in that game at all. So, however, but Ole Miss gets the win of the Peach Bowl. They beat Penn State 38-25.
That was a good.
Maryland in the Music City Bowl beats Auburn 31-13. In the Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl, um, Happy New Year, you too, Crown. And in today's games, LSU was down 14-0 and came back to beat Wisconsin 35-31. LSU finishes the year with a 10-3 record as Nussmeier threw for 395 against
Ooh,
was yeah, he threw for 395, and then Mordecai threw for 378. So it was a whole lot of slinging that football on the quarterback side between Wisconsin and LSU. Wisconsin finishes the year 7-6. LSU finishes the year 10-3 as Les Miles makes up and gives the win a 2-1 season. What we thought was going to be a lot of offense in the Fiesta Bowl just turned into a Oregon Ducks party as Bo Nix in his final collegiate game threw for 5 TDs. Bucky Irvin, one of my favorite football names of all time, 14 carries for a buck 17 and a touchdown as the junior might be going to the NFL this year. We don't know, but we know Bo Nix is 45-6 was the final score. Oregon finishes the year 12-2. Liberty finishes the year 13-1. Nothing to be ashamed of as Liberty put together their best season. Tennessee thrashes Iowa in the Citrus Bowl 35-0 as Josh Heupel gets doused in Cheez-Its, and Nico Lamaleva ran for 3, threw for 1 in his first career. How about your really, Hammer? My microphone does not look like a damn volleyball. No, I'm sorry, Hammer. Brian, my mic does not look like a volleyball because number one, it's yellow and not white. Anyhow, but glad you noticed the microphone. Thank you. Sampson ran for a buck 33. Keaton had 3 catches, 51 yards. Lama Lavea threw for 151 and was solid. But the 2 games of the day in overtime, and like I said, I never wanted Alabama to lose a game so badly that I wanted them to lose today. And all I really can say is hail to the victors of the University of Michigan, as it
Rich
really
Eisen
was.
stupid right now.
Yes, Rich Eisen is very, very happy. Hail to the victors. First off, it was a fantastic game. It really was a tale of 2 halves because in the first half, Michigan's defensive line was getting pressure all really, really. Lord help. Lord help him. Help him,
It's
Lord,
okay.
please.
It's
But
okay.
um, nonetheless, Michigan's defense in the first half was getting pressure all over Milroy. They sacked him 5 times in the first half as Michigan had a 13-10 lead. As Michigan missed the extra point after the Tyler Morris touchdown pass from J.J. McCarthy that put them up 13-10. But in the third quarter, Alabama, or in the fourth quarter, Alabama got their way. McLean had a 3-yard touchdown run, which was the second of the day, and then Rashard kicked the ball um, to put them up 20-13. But it was a lot of miscues by Michigan on special teams, and you thought that might have been the difference in this game, but Michigan finds a way, and J.J. McCarthy drives down the field. But then the pass that he threw to Roman Wilson to set up the touchdown to where the defender deflected the ball. He was in
Yeah,
McCarthy's vision, deflected
yeah,
the ball, and somehow Wilson couldn't decide if he wanted to use one hand or two hands. Somehow makes the catch, and then the
yeah.
motion offense that Harbaugh called, which freed Wilson to tie the game at 20. And then, of course, I've been a Blake Corum fan since last season. I really thought
Hmm.
Blake Corum was on his way to being a Heisman Trophy candidate before he hurt his knee, which Blake Corum did not play at all in the playoffs because he lost the season to his knee. This is the reason why he came back, because he had unfinished business, and he said that in his interview with Holly Roll after the game was over. But Blake Corum becomes the all-time touchdown scoring leader in Michigan history, rushing wise. His big touchdown in overtime. Um, Brian, good night to you, and may you have a prosperous 2024 for you too, sir. Appreciate you for chiming in.
Yes, sir.
But
Behind
Corum's
you.
touchdown, but Corum's, but Corum's touchdown in overtime sealed the deal. But one thing that was quite obvious: there was a bad exchange between the center and Millward for Alabama. It seemed like bad snaps just kept happening, and oddly enough, it was a low snap on the final play to which Michigan's defense chimed in to stop Milrow on the final play in overtime, to which you asked, why are they running the ball on fourth down? Only Nick Saban and Tommy Reese, the offensive coordinator, only those two know the answer to that question. But nonetheless, Michigan gets the win 27-20 in overtime as Michigan finally gets their first college football playoff win. They go to 14-0, and Alabama get the hell out, go home, and NCAA, you can suck it for slurping Alabama. You slurp, slurp, slurp them. You wanted to be in their you wanted them to be in there so doggone badly. Well, guess what? They're one and done. Your golden boy lost. Now take it like a man.
Yes.
Anyhow, the second game of the night, which our dear friend JP is probably still cussing up a storm right now. JP, we love you. Of course, you can always catch the All Pro Jaffos on Tuesdays and Fridays on the Pruneda Brothers Productions page. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe to
Please,
them. They are
please
friends of
do.
ours, and they are friends of ours, and they are friends of this program. And thus, like I said, Mills and I have been multiple guests on their show many of times. So they are very good friends of ours. So please, if you have not, please subscribe to the All Pro Jaffos, the highly elevated sports talk for the highly elevated sports fan.
Yes.
You can catch them on Tuesdays and Fridays on the Pruneda Brothers YouTube page. Anyhow, Washington gets the win, so it'll be 14-0 versus 14-0 in the championship game next week in Houston, Texas. But Washington had to fend off Bevo to the last play of the game, but it was a 37-31 final
Mm.
as Michael Penix Jr. throws for 430 and 2 touchdowns. Quentin Ewers threw for
Wow.
318, but it was the costly fumble. It was the costly fumble by a Texas that led to a Washington score that pretty much was the difference in the game. Um, but it was a whole lot of offense. Washington had 532 total yards to Texas 498. So there was a lot of offense in this game.
A lot.
But again, the two fumbles lost by Texas really was the difference in this game. Hence why Washington got the 37-31 victory. And how odd is this that it's the Pac 12 that was in the very first national championship game under this current format, and
In
it'll be a
group, yeah.
Pac-12 team ending this
Yeah.
current format before they go to 12 teams next year. But
Can't write any
it's
better.
two teams. It's two teams that have a history against each other. The Washington
Oh,
Huskies and the Michigan Wolverines are no stranger to each other. They have
oh,
met plenty of times in their history.
no.
This will be the fifth time they have met in a quote unquote postseason matchup, but this will be the 14th time they have met in their history. Michigan
Mm,
holds the advantage, 8 wins to 5, but this is the first time they've played against each other in the postseason since the 1993 Rose Bowl game, which was a fantastic game between Michigan and Washington, which of course was the Tyrone Wheatley, Napoleon Kaufman back and forth
yes.
Rose Bowl game to which Michigan won by the final score of 30-31. So, of course, they played in the Rose Bowl 4 times, um,
Mm-hmm.
each team winning twice.
Mm-hmm.
The last time they played in a regular season game was back in 2021, where Michigan beat Washington 31-10. So right now, Michigan has the current winning streak of 2. But like I said, this will be the 14th meeting between these two story programs, but it will be for the biggest prize of all, the national championship. But like I said, um, Michigan is playing for something greater. They're playing for a bigger cause, which is
Yeah.
why I'm picking them. And even as I
Mm,
said this, even if my beloved Bulldogs got into the playoff, probably the one team I did not want to see is Michigan, simply because of the fact Michigan is playing for something greater. Their head coach got suspended twice for 3 games.
twice.
Six
Yep.
six games. Jim Harbaugh was not on the sideline. This team rallied for their head coach. The offensive coordinator that coached those 6 games got this team to stay focused. And basically, all the guys came back because of this moment, because Michigan has been on the cusp the last 3 years. All Jim Harbaugh has done has won 10 plus games since he's been there. I'm going with
Yep.
Michigan simply because Michigan is playing for a bigger cause. And that's not to take anything away from the Huskies. The Huskies are a very, very good team. Michael Penix Jr. is for real, and he'll be playing on Sundays this upcoming season. But Michigan's playing for a bigger cause. I can't go against them, but it should be a dandy of a national championship game. I am happy to be off to watch that game
Lucky you.
and and just see what happens. But it will be
Mm,
the Washington Huskies and the Michigan Wolverines playing for the biggest prize in college football. Somebody will be 15-0 when it's all said and done next Monday night in Houston, Texas for the national championship game.
I'm not picking this game.
And with that said, he's not he's just going to be a fan, but I'm going hell to the victors. This would be Michigan's first national championship since they won a share of the title in 1997, which was Charles Woodson's Heisman Trophy year. And of course, that was when Charles Woodson played both ways. But it would be Michigan's first outright national title by themselves since, I believe, the 40s, which would give them their 9th overall national championship in football, if I believe. Of course, Michigan, the most winningest program in college football history with 1,003 wins. Um, so I am excited to see this particular game. But we
Yes.
thank you for watching our first show of the year of 2024, which turned into a lot of comedy and laughs as Mizzle has laughed himself to sleep
Yeah,
with
yeah.
it.
I'm
But nonetheless, thank you to everybody in the comments that commented, and Innocence made me mad and made Mizzle laugh. Um, but like I said, the playoffs are here in college football. The playoffs will be starting next week in the NFL. Um, again, Happy New Year to everybody. We pray and hope that your 2024 will be more blessed and prosperous than your 2023. And may God grant you all your heart's desires and prayers that you will send his way. We pray that he answers them for you. And may you find a lot of peace, love, and happiness and prosperity in
Amen.
2024. Um, they want us to have Mizzle and Dub t-shirts. Well, now we're going to try to put that into fruition since you guys are asking for it. But number 148 in the books, first one of 2024 under the map. And again, we just appreciate you guys. Like I said, me and Mizzle, we do this for you guys, and we do this for your guys' entertainment. And apparently, of episode number 148. But nonetheless, for the Black Goku, I am Dub, and we say thank you again for watching. As always, remember, it's 5 o'clock. Some damn where. And unfortunately, it's time to get back to reality. It's time to go back to paying bills and going back to work. But nonetheless, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. God bless y'all. Take care of yourself and each other. And this has been the Mizzle and Dub Show, number 148. And Debo, we love you too.